Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm joined by my wife Melanie.
Hi.
And my son Jamie.
Again,
my old sparring partner. And well, what are we doing today? This VE day, lovely glorious day. We were going to do a World War II game, weren't we, mate? But as I said in the previous video, I've come across the English Civil War figures, which we've not had out since 2016. So I thought, let's get them out and have a game with them. And I'd posted up a sort of a showcase of the table that we're going to be playing today, just to show the figures of what we've got. And I was overwhelmed by the amount of response that people were saying, please film a battle report. So without further ado, what we're going to do today is a battle report, more of an after action report like we normally do after each turn. We are going to be using Pike and Shotte rules, but there is going to be a slight change to the shooting that we're going to make, and let's just give it a go. Whereas the battalions are normally made up of a pike block and obviously 2 wings, that's 3 units for Pike and Shotte. What we're going to be doing is the battalion fires and fights as one. We're not having these like commando units going off doing individual little things. Don't see that as historically accurate. And anyone who knows anyone in the sealed knot will tell you that the matchlock muskets are very inferior. They're very short ranged. So what we're going to be doing today is we'll treat their shooting as firing at a target, and all the weapons will fire at that one unit. If they're firing at another infantry battalion, what we're going to then do is, instead of individually saying we're targeting a particular unit, as I said, we're going to dice forward to see if it's a musket unit or a pike unit, because that will make a difference for the saving throws that they will make, the morale saves.
it also makes it a lot easier when you're playing. You can just say, right, that's one unit. As you say, you don't get the little commando unit.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't get mixed up with other units then either.
Yeah.
You also don't make it gamey, because there's a temptation, if you're firing at a unit, that you're going to take out specific parts first, and you'll aim for specific parts. Here it randomises it, so you know it's a lot more accurate. As you've said already, the matchlocks were very inaccurate, and so firing at a big long line, it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what this represents anyway.
Yeah, we're certainly going to do that. Another rule that I think I might sort of add into the game as well. We'll give it a go. Might add into it. We'll try it. We'll try it and see how it goes. And that's we'll have a bounce through from the artillery. So when if the artillery hits a target and there's a unit behind it, within 3 inches behind it, we'll have a go at doing a bounce through rule. So just roll a dice 4+, and if it does, it can take a hit, and obviously it's normal modifiers. So apart from that, without further ado, we're both split up in our sides. I'm taking on the role of the good old parliamentarian forces, and Mel and Jamie are taking on the combined Scots force. Our scenario today is based, if you want to be historical, it's based around 1648, where the Northern Association and the New Model Army advanced up to take on a combined Scottish force up on the borders. Ours is loosely based on that, because my parliamentarians is built on Waller's Army of the South, and obviously Jamie's got the Covenanters and Mel's doing Hopton's force, so totally inaccurate. But if you want to be historically accurate, that's how we're playing it. So what we'll do is we'll split up, we'll show each other's forces, and then we'll get into the game. So starting off with the Covenanter combined Scottish force is Jamie with
Lord Levin leading them at the front.
Okay.
We got a Lancer troop there.
Led by normal officer there.
Normal officer, yeah. With a couple of Pike and Shotte blocks. So we've got 2 there.
1 there. And
1.
Just move the tree out of the way. There we go. Another one across there.
And also a frame gun just there.
Okay. And then Mel's got...
Okay, so we've got, very similar to Jamie's, 2 Pike and Shotte units here, 1 still with the Scots Covenanters, and then we're moving in to the yellow unit here. Company in those, we've got the normal cavalry here, which are the gallopers, infantry led by a normal infantry commander, cavalry led by a normal cavalry commander.
That's right, I've got a nice little force there. Yeah, apologies for some of the basing that's not been done on the figures. My eagerness to get the troops out on the table, I've not based them. That's my bad, sorry about that, and I wouldn't normally play with unbased figures. So moving on then to my force. So my army's led by Oliver Cromwell. There in the centre, and his 2 adjutants. Actually, the one on the left is Waller himself, but so I can play the army as either then. So Starting from the left hand side, we have this battalion here, which is led by Sir Arthur Hasselrig, and obviously he has 2 cavalry cuirassier troops along with a dragoon unit. Moving on, we have the infantry led by a normal infantry officer in the centre, and 3 battalions of Pike and Shotte. One there, one there. Those figures there in the centre there are by Empress Miniatures metal figures. A Seika cannon in the centre, the final Pike and Shotte unit down through there, and lastly, which will be on my left, but which will be a cavalry force. Again, all gallopers, 3 troops are there, and another troop of dragoons, which obviously can dismount. So there we have it. That's my force all lined up, and we'll get back to you at the end of turn 1. So here we have it, end of turn 1. Royalists had the initiative, or the Scots, shall I say, had the initiative, and a bit hesitant to start with. Their cavalry failed to do anything and go forward on their left. Infantry, all in the centre, moved up very cautiously. Cavalry on their right, the Lancers, using Levin's command, he advanced up round to protect their flank. No shooting from their side. From my side, cavalry advanced forward as far as they could, dragoons taking up a position to protect them on their flank, and all the infantry marched forward in a nice neat line. Dragoons in the far field over there advanced up and dismounted. Only shooting was my artillery piece, which, like normal, missed. So there we have it, end of turn 1. And get back to you at the end of turn 2. You join us here at turn 2 during the shooting phase from the Scots turn, and Jamie's fired his frame gun over here onto my red unit here. And as I said at the start of the game, that we would roll to see who targeted, which part of the target was being hit, whether it be the musketeers or the pikemen. Jamie's rolled to hit, he's got a 4 there. Now I'll just roll my dice here to see where it's going. 1 to 4 is musketeer, 5 or 6 is a pikeman. So he's going for the musketeer. Musketeer's save is a 5+, so -2 for being hit by the artillery. There is no save, so that's instantly 1 casualty, which I'll note down there on that musketeer unit. All right, so join us at the end of turn 2. So you join us at the end of turn 2, and what a turn. Disaster for the Parliament. Oliver Cromwell's Ironsides have just been smashed to pieces. Started off obviously with the Scots with the initiative, took a few shots against my cavalry. If you remember, my cavalry was down here. They took some casualties, managed to save a couple, but put some wounds on them. Bit of shooting obviously down through the line. Again, their cavalry in their left failed to move. Our movement for the parliamentarians, just slowly trotted the dragoons over. I blundered with the cuirassiers, but my blunder roll was lucky in that I managed to go forward 1 move. My infantry failed to move forward. The artillery opened fire again onto their infantry over here, caused a casualty. Dragoons dismounted. And was just out of range to shoot the battalion in front of them, and the cavalry decided valiantly that was there to charge the Lancers. The Lancers' only sort of recourse of action was to stand and shoot. We charged in, both caused 3 casualties on each other. Both had a rear support, because I charged 2 troops in. Jamie had the infantry there to support in the flank, which meant he won the combat. Once I'd rolled the break test, I rolled a 4, being disordered, -1, down to 3, they routed off the table. In turn, the support unit, seeing their mates getting routed off the table, took a test. I rolled a direct 3. So if someone can roll my dice for me, I'll be very grateful. But there we are, that's the end of turn 2. Hard push now for the Parliament. Here we are then, at the end of turn 3. And this was a dramatic turn, another one. Dice rolling, going everywhere, cavalry charging, musketry fire, and lots of damage was caused. If you might remember, my cavalry was down in this end here. They charged forward. Jamie had his lancers here. He went into the Lancers, Jamie counter-charged. I managed to beat them back, but in the ensuing fight I lost. But it also meant that Jamie's Lancers were shaken and they recoiled, the supporting unit recoiled back at the end of the table. He attached his leader to his forward unit. He got killed and he was been replaced by his adjutant. So he's now at a command level of 6. Down through here, because I've lost all my cavalry over here, it means that my dragoons here are on a broken battalion. So obviously they're not going to be doing a lot from the rest of the game apart from pulling out of that area. Down through the centre, both of us were engaging across the table at each other. Lots of musket fire. I managed to sort of get a lot of disorders on Jamie, so on this side, and I did the same to Mel. But in turn they did some casualties on me on this unit here. Artillery didn't really do up to much. Advanced forward on the right hand side up to the pond area. Managed to sort of get a few shots in across the pond to those. And the cuirassiers, you might remember Mel had her cavalry there on the left there. They managed to get 2 moves, charged 1 unit into the front of the 1st cavalry unit, and the other squadron of my cuirassiers charged into the battalion here, who formed Hedgehog. And that was a tough fight. We fought to a stalemate there at the moment, so next turn is going to be really hard for me to push those out of there with their +3 bonus that they get for the charge results. The cavalry there, cuirassiers, crashed into them, badly damaged the lead unit, routed them out of the table, and in turn took the other unit with them. So hopefully now the cuirassiers can now start doing some damage and that and be unleashed behind the Scots army. Oh, the dragoons on the right here. Once again I blundered, but luckily they blundered into the building, so I was quite happy about that. So there we are, turn 3. So we're going to start turn 4, so join us back at the end of turn 4. So here we are after turn 4 and end of the game. Unfortunately, what a dramatic end to it. Cuirassiers lost the cavalry battle against the Hedgehog over there in this space here. Mel managed to sort of beat the cuirassiers back, but in turn obviously got shaken, took the maximum amount of damage. I managed to rally off a casualty off of that cuirassier unit and was ready to come into the behind the lines. Managed to bring out the dragoons that were in the building here that blundered in the last turn. Exchange of fire all across the front from both sides. Not much doing from my side, I've got to be honest, in this turn 4. And obviously the Scots over this side managed to cause a couple of disorders on my units. The cavalry for Jamie's Lancers managed to sort of hold back because he knew that if he'd lost those it could have been the end of the game. But unfortunately, by losing the cavalry on the left and losing the yellow Pike and Shotte unit and this unit here becoming totally shaken, ended the game. So we'll wrap it up here. Great game, and I'll come down for the post-game analysis. Well, there we have it then. That was our quick little English Civil War game. Something, again, like I said at the start of this video, something we've not done for a long time. Great fun, really enjoyed it. Some very dramatic moments and dice rolls that throughout the game. What do you think, mate?
I think in the beginning it could have gone either way, but just you sacrificing your left flank until to take out mine, just that's sort of the turning point because it allowed you to apply pressure elsewhere.
I think, well, I think for myself, I think, yeah, I mean, my plan was to use my cavalry on the left there to threaten hard your Lancers, because I thought once your Lancers got out with their abilities that they've got for obviously the minuses in the cavalry in the morales, I wanted to get rid of them. I was lucky in the sense that with Mum's cavalry not doing anything down here, that and me blundering my cavalry up here as well, that sort of didn't help, but I managed to just hold you enough to be able to get my cuirassiers in. I mean,
oh, definitely. I mean, let's face it, normally I'm rolling very low on any game, but this one, when I needed lower, I roll high, and nothing happened over this area at all.
no.
You know, there's this is one of the reasons why I paint more than play. Can't get the dice rolls.
I
That was a good game.
I thought at the start, I said the first couple of turns where I blundered twice. I definitely, and I lost my cavalry over there the first lot, and then the second lot I sent in, again to sacrifice them to hold them against you. I rolled and they broke again. I thought, I needed somebody else to roll me dice here because I'm doing rubbish, you know.
We were going to swap at one point.
We were going to swap, yeah, because you were rolling high, I was rolling crap, but there we are. But yeah, it was great fun. Definitely something we want to do again, and certainly look at what else we've got kicking around in the spares boxes, like, you know, to sort of finish them off, because
We've still got the rest of the royalists of the other part to
Yeah,
do. There's
that's
still
it.
a lot
Yeah.
left to finish off of those ones.
yeah, definitely. As I said, obviously with Jamie's now he's got the Covenanter force. We can then alter mine to play the new model army, and obviously Cromwell's Ironsides and everything. So, or we can play as we got there. So we put the double commander on the base too, to play obviously in the south and southwest, which is close to home for us. You know, so obviously with Lansdowne down the road and Rangway down, not too far away. You know, we're quite lucky in that for the English Civil War battles and where we live. So. There we have it then. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoy it. Something different. Don't forget, like, comment and subscribe. And as always, take care and we'll all see you soon. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.